Good evening, friends from Malaysia, and hello to everyone all around the world. Welcome to my podcast, and I call this Conversation with My TTT Alumni. TTT stands for Train the Trainer Alumni. I'm such a privileged position while conducting training. I'm learning so much from my alumni. I hope they don't bill me for that. And today I'm such a privileged to meet my friend Shikha. She's a successful entrepreneur, author, trainer, leader, but more importantly, a wonderful person. Her journey has been translated into a book titled The Millennial Mom, Balancing the Messy Life of a Modern Woman. Shikha, we are so honored to have you. Namaskar.
Same to you, sir.
And my friends, I know Shikha quite well. I had the privilege of having her in my class and we met. I'm also a student in a way. But for the benefit of the audience, please tell us a little bit about your background, Shikha.
So, thank you, Dr. Prabha, first of all, for giving me the opportunity to be part of your podcast. No, about me, I have 13 years of experience in digital marketing, currently holding the position of CEO at BitQuest. It's a digital marketing agency which offers services like websites, softwares, SEO, social media marketing, all of that. And I also hold the title of Vice President for WICI, which is Women's Indian Chamber of Commerce and Industry. I hold the title of Malaysia Country Chair for G100. But beyond all other titles that I do hold or I will hold in future, I think the title of being the mom has been the most privileged one for me. It's the most beautiful title that my son gave me in 2015, and I hold it to date as the the best achievement that I've had so far.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm sure Aryan will be very, very proud, and I'm sure he'll be watching this as he grows up. Wonderful, Shika. And you mentioned about your role in the Leadership Association in Malaysia. So you are in Malaysia.
Yes,
Uh, how long have you been here?
I have been in Malaysia for 10 years now. We moved to Malaysia, my entire family, me, my husband. We moved here in 2013. So it's been almost a decade now. And I have to say that Malaysia has been very kind to us in terms of our career. It has given us so much love, luck that I could not ask for more. I'm always thankful to all Malaysians for that.
Let me test your Malaysian. Apa kabar?
My Malay is really bad. You can't test my
Oh,
Malay.
yeah.
But I know what is upper cover. How are you?
How are you? Okay, wonderful. We call that kabar baik. I'm
Cover
fine.
bar. Okay.
Okay, nice. Okay. Well, you mentioned about your organization. Tell us a little bit more. How have the global community perhaps benefited from BitQuest, and what are some of the significant services and how you help businesses? I remember your conversation or some award. Sorry, I can't recall exactly in your
Yeah.
LinkedIn post for your services. Tell us a little bit more about that, Shika.
So, Dr. Prabha, our company focuses on taking businesses from offline to online. When I say offline to online, which means traditional businesses which were having only like physically selling their products, we take them online through digital media, e commerce, setting up payment portal for them, and then helping them market their product and services through the online media. And that is why the government, along with the Penang government and KSI, which is a prestigious body, gave us this award, recognized our work in this sector, how we had actually set up so many e-commerce in Malaysia in the last few years. In fact, in 2020, when COVID had hit and many businesses were really hit hard, we had set up more e-commerce website than we had done in the previous 3 years together, combined together. So a lot of businesses did gain benefit out of the e-commerce solutions that we were offering at that time. And other than that, of course, once you have an e-commerce, you need to market your product and services through the online media like Google Ads or search engine optimization, posting on social media. All those services are offered by our company, and that is how we were recognized and awarded, and we were greatly thankful.
Wonderful, wonderful. Despite all this success in entrepreneurship, leadership, and your role in NGOs, I was pleasantly surprised to see you applying for our HRD Corp, train the trainer. And we, the Malaysian community, is so blessed and lucky to have experienced people like you with global experience to share that in our country. Please tell me a little bit what inspired you to join the Train the Trainer program.
All right, so Dr. Prabha, it was 2020, I believe, when COVID had hit, and we had sort of disconnected from the external world, and there was no
Yeah.
socializing. I happened to connect with a beautiful friend, which I've made for life, I guess. She's Gayatri Krishnasamy. We both know her. I happened to meet her on LinkedIn, and I don't know what happened. We just went on a video call and chatted. There was an instant connection. And at that time, she was conducting trainings for Perkeso and some other government agencies because a lot of workers, people had lost their work, jobs, and they didn't know what to do. So there was this retrenched workers program that Perkeso was conducting at that time, and she was the trainer for that course that was under Perkeso. At that time, she wanted to appoint someone in her course who had practical experience, basically not just the preacher but also the practitioner. So she asked me to join her course as a guest trainer to talk to the students and encourage them how to go about digital marketing, learn this new skill, all of that. And it was just like out of love and passion that I went in as a guest trainer there, never thinking that I would be taking it up so passionately later on. So I conducted that course, and I really loved communicating with people, meeting so many new faces, and inspiring them to take up digital marketing as a career. So I just loved it, and later on went on to do some more trainings for Ministry of Higher Education and some other corporate companies. Then I was made to know that in Malaysia, if you need to be a professional trainer, you need to be TTT certified, which is Train the Trainer program. You need to have that certification if you want to take up a training as a professional career or train other people professionally. So Gayatri introduced me to this course, and then I thought that I should take up this course. And I think the universe just conspires everything. So I came in touch with you, and I enrolled for your TTT program, and I managed to take it this year. So initially, when I thought about taking up the TTT program, for me it was more about just doing the course for the sake of it to get that certification so that I could apply for more trainings initially. But honestly, Dr. Prabha, I have to tell you, after taking your course, I realized that this is not just a certification program, but also a way how you can communicate and train other people. I may be a subject matter expert, or anyone else may be a subject matter expert, but to lay down the whole knowledge into a structured format so that you can pass on that knowledge to other person can come when you take up such a course. And I am so thankful that I did that 5 days course with you with full heart, and I managed to prepare a proper course structure through it. In fact, after that course I have been able to prepare more courses. In fact, today itself, I was conducting a training at Ramada Hotel for another training provider. So this is how this whole training journey started, and Yeah, TTT is definitely something which is going to help subject matter experts to take up training and do it in a structured format. So that is how you can pass on the knowledge that you have to other people.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Shika, meeting you, I came across this wonderful book. And I'm sure that is the main thing our audience who are listening there is keen to know. Yeah. Balancing the messy life. I think we don't have any shortage of messy life. There's so many sources for this messiness. And friends who are there, who are listening, my YouTube or LinkedIn, please ask any question. This is a great opportunity to get Shika's wisdom. The millennial mom balancing the messy life of modern women. You mentioned about all your awards, your success, and your roles in corporate leadership. But I'm sure I've seen my mom, I've seen my wife. It's a full-time job managing home, and on top of that, you guys are literally multi-skilled, multi-talented, and keeping all the balance well. Wow! Thank you very much to my mom, my wife, you, and all the mom out there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Tell us, Shika, what inspired you to write this book, despite your busy schedule?
It's a long story, Dr. Prabha. It was um, it was my 30th birthday, and 30 is always like a big milestone. And I had a 3-month-old son at that time. So postpartum had hit me deep at that time. Postpartum plus 30, all of that had hit me really hard. It was January of 2016. I realized that, when you're in your early 20s or in your teens, you make a lot of plans for yourself. Like before you turn 30, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So 30 always seemed like far fetched. It seemed like, oh, I'll be 30 after like several years. It seems like that when you are younger. And I realized that I had not achieved most of whatever I had planned for myself on my 30th birthday. So it was a huge eye opener, absolutely huge. And I had promised to myself on that day that starting this year, every year I'm going to invest in myself, learn two new things, either learn or join two new things, anything, but something which is out of my daily routine. Learn something new every year, two things. That was the promise that I made to myself. And one of the things that I promised was I want to write a book before I turn 40.
Nice.
So in 2021, just like, when COVID was almost over, still there, you could not travel as much, but you could be moving around in the same country. And I am a very avid traveler. I travel a lot. I mean, I've taken over 24 flights with my 2-year-old son. So you can understand the level of travel that I do with him. So of course during COVID and post COVID we could not travel as much. So I thought that this was a time where I could utilize it to start penning down my feelings. Otherwise that time to write the book may not ever come. Like, you will be 40 and you'll realize you haven't done it. So that 30th birthday had given me that motivation, that start. Don't leave it to, like, okay, it will come. Procrastination was something I had put off my list on my 30th birthday. So I want to start things. And that's how I, started writing this book.
Wow. Wow. What an inspiration. What an inspiration. I had the friends who are listening. I had the privilege of getting autographed version of the book. The Millennial Mom is relevant not only for mom, for everybody. Not only millennials, but also Gen Y or Gen X like me. I enjoyed every bit of that conversation, the message from your mom, And the whole idea about balancing this, it's lovely. It's so inspiring.
Yeah,
Friends who are interested to, sorry, friends who are keen to know about Shika's book, it's in her website. You just click there and get the wisdom. I really love the very practical wisdom, Shika. You know, but like you said, writing a book is indeed a challenge. But more challenge is perhaps getting the idea. I'm sure you had a lot of ideas about writing book for many, many years. Getting the idea and translate that into action. If you recall in my class, I always emphasize learning means change in behavior.
yeah.
Knowing is not learning. While talking about it, I feel guilty because some of the ideas I read from your book I'm yet to implement. And I'm sure many people are like that too. So the key challenges in this essence of the book, the work-life balance. Why work-life balance need immediate attention? Why the friends who are watching us now perhaps should stop for a while right after this, switch off everything and ask the question, am I practicing work-life balance? Am I experiencing work-life balance? Am I feeling work-life balance? Tell us the urgency, Shika.
The urgency comes from the fact, Dr. Prabha, that when I was planning to write a book, of course, there are a lot of ideas that come into your mind because I'm also into digital marketing. Initially, I thought I will write something about marketing. But at that time, I realized, Dr. Prabha, that I had a lot of friends who were very good in what they are doing. Like, if they are good homemakers, they are absolutely perfect homemakers. If they are working professionally, they are excelling in their career, but they're very afraid to have a family, start a family, all of that. So I found that women around me, especially, were very good at what they were doing, but they didn't want to take up multiple roles somehow because they thought that they were perfect at what they're doing. So, somehow you pull yourself back that this may be a stop on my career, or if I am going to work, I may not be able to take care of my child, all of that. So that is where the whole idea of this book came to my mind, where I wanted to share my own experience as a mother. Because in the whole essence of today's world, if I may say so, what we do is a lot of time today is spent on social media, on procrastination. We tend to push back tasks that, okay, I'll do this later. That kind of attitude is there. There's no sense of routine nowadays. I remember my grandfather, both maternal and paternal, had a very routined life. Like they used to wake up at a certain time, do chores at a certain time, and that way the life was much more productive. Somehow our generation doesn't have that sense of routine in their life. I don't say you need to have a very strong sense of routine in your life, but at least some rules should be laid down. Like, take half an hour for yourself in the morning. If you
Nice.
need a coffee for that endeavor, it's okay. Take it with a coffee and sink into thoughts of what you want to achieve today as a mother, as a daughter, as the CEO or whatever of your company, as a wife, as a homemaker. Decide on that and then spend that rest of the 23.5 hours doing
Nice.
that. Once you start practicing this whole idea of work life balance will make you feel so complete from within. And that's why I don't like to call it just work life, happy life balance. This is exactly what a happy life would mean when you have a sense of balance in life. You don't need to be perfect in everything. In the 16th century, this quote, Jack of all trades, master of none, was considered as a slang, like you just tell, oh, you are just Jack of all trades, master of none. But honestly, Dr. Prabha, in the 21st century, this is considered to be a boon. And like to complete this as master, jack of all trades, master of none, is better than, sometimes better than being just the master of one. So you
Wow.
can be, yeah, try to be a jack of all trades, because you have to play so many roles as a woman every day, not just as a woman, as a human being. You have to be a father or a mother, you have to play the role of a son and a daughter. And we have to agree, Dr. Prabha, that especially for a woman, the biological clock and the career clock tickle at the same time. And we can't change it. Science can't change that. At least to a certain extent it can't. So you have no choice. Nature has designed our mind, our body, to be multitaskers. And if we as women don't multitask, don't become the jack of all trades, we can't expect a happy balanced life. So don't have to be perfect in everything, just balance everything.
Wow. Wow. I'm still sinking with the word sense of routine. And just like your grandfather, my father had such a wonderful routine. He lived up to 92 years old. He'd wake up at 5:30 in the morning. He will do the prayers. He will read the scriptures. He will go for a walk. And such a structure. Same thing in the afternoon. He will take a short nap. Evening, prepare for prayer again. Read scriptures again. And that's such a wonderful routine. Same thing with my mom. For those who are still wondering, what is this sense of routine? Can you help us to imagine kids who are wake up in the morning and first thing, not in, only kids, anyone for the matter, yeah, first thing they get connected to the Wi-Fi. Once they get connected to the Wi-Fi with all the Instagram, all the Facebook posts, all they are connected to the world, but sometimes not connected within. For those who are really keen to at least get started with this sense of routine, what is your advice for them to start doing it right now?
It's something very good that you highlighted, Dr. Prabha. I remember that you mentioned about connecting to the outer world before connecting to your inner self during our TTT class, and it stayed with me at that time. Every morning, if I take the phone in my hand, that sentence, flashes on my mind. That no, I don't want to connect to the outer world before I have connected to my inner self. When you wake up in the morning, as I said, it's important to be with yourself, and before you are being with anyone else, whether it be at your home or on your phone, looking at who is doing what, who is holidaying in Penang, who is holidaying in Phuket, and then get impacted by it. Somehow the human psychology is, Dr. Prabha, that we we don't find as much joy in our own happiness, that we find more unhappiness in other people's joy. That's human nature.
Mhm.
Somehow it's human nature. So it's better not to connect with that outer world first, connect with yourself. And
Yeah,
for
very
that
true.
routine, you don't have to have, I don't say that have the same routine as my grandfather or your father had, which was very routine, like 5 o'clock wake up, 7 o'clock prayers, 8 o'clock this. I know for today's kids, millennials and Gen Zs, it's not easy to maintain that strict routine. But at least a sense of routine should be there, that, before 12, I should complete all these things. Before 4 p.m., I should complete all these things. So that half an hour that you're taking for yourself in the morning, that will help you decide that before 12, I will, drop my son to school. I will give a hug to my husband before he or I go to work, or I'm going to make sure that I have my lunch together with him today. I'm going to see my mom today before 4 p.m. So decide that as a mother, as a daughter, as a wife, as a homemaker, what are the things you're going to do today? And then implement it during your day. Because, of course, in this competitive world today, it's not easy to have a very routine life. We have to sometimes go after work, do some networking events, all of that, sleep late, wake up late, all of that happens. And one off, it's okay. I'm not saying have a very strict routine again, but that sense of basic routine, like achieve this before 12, do this before 3 p.m., do this before 6 p.m., will at least get you in some routine life. And then slowly, as much as you can get that routine in place, you will see that you become more productive. I realized this during COVID, Dr. Prabha, because I was also not having a very routine life before that, because working till late, whenever you feel like sleeping, you close your laptop and you sleep, all of that. But when I started to enjoy a sense of routine in my life, I found that I was more productive. And once you're more productive, you're able to do more things in a day. And that helps to add on to the balance that is required in today's world. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Thanks a lot. Listening to you, Shika, reminded me of a 5 a.m. Club book by Robin Sharma. I happen to be a 5 a.m. Club member, so to speak. So, one thing that we do is the first 1 hour, for the benefit of all my friends listening there, uh, taking from what Shika said, the routine. If I may share my own small routine, the first 1 hour is divided into 20 minutes of three events. Robin Sharma called that power hour.
Yeah.
So I spend about 20 minutes to have coffee with my wife before she go to work, and another 20 minutes deep reading on subjects that's a bit heavy, including Bhagavad Gita every morning, and writing, spending about 5 minutes in my gratitude journal, and next 20 minutes, a simple walk, a bit of push ups, sit ups. So, this 60 minutes is a big investment for me, and I don't get my phone on during that time. Unless there's some urgent thing I need to check, I'll quickly check and switch off and stay focused. And I find that's very, very valuable. Thanks for reminding me about this sense of routine. I never thought of the word sense of routine. Thanks for that. But sharing my sense of routine, right? Wonderful, Shika. So, if at all um the sense of routine is not practiced, the way you sharing with this practicing, it seems to be easy. It's matter of doing it.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't pay attention to it? What are the possible consequences in your personal life, in your professional life, in your productivity, in your mental health? Tell us a bit more. Emphasize the mental health if you can, from your perspective. What are the consequences if we don't have some basic sense of routine? Prayer time, exercise time, me time, mindfulness time, meditation time, having a conversation with someone who care without any phone, look eye to eye. These are some of the routines that I'm thinking. What will be the consequences, Shika, if there's no routine in life?
See, Dr. Prabha, if we don't follow a routine, definitely we won't be as productive as you can be if you follow the routine. And as a result of which, you will not be able to do things which you wanted to do. And slowly, this will lead to burnout. And a lot of people today, Dr. Prabha, I know them personally, face burnout. And this is the prime reason. Because, see, firstly, everyone is very competitive today because the world is competitive. You want to do more things today, as what my grandfather at that time wanted to do. You want to achieve more, but you want to contribute less. That is where the balance is being impacted. And that is why so many people are having burnouts, trying to commit suicide, mental health. Like every now and then I hear people that, they someone tried to um, you know take their life, or damage to themselves physically. That is almost like an extreme of a mental health or depression issue. And all that is happening because we are not following that sense of routine. So definitely
Mm.
burnout is going to happen if you are not following any routine. You are competitive, you want to do so many things. Your friends have achieved something, your people around you are achieving. You don't do it, you're procrastinating. And end of it, what happens? You feel sad from within. I haven't done this. I have not been a good mother. I have not been a good in my career. I have not been a good spouse. And end, there's a burnout. You feel like you're not good enough. That is what
Wow.
it is going to lead to.
Wow. Friends who are listening there, I hope this clear message. Have a sense of routine, pay attention to ourselves, love yourself, have the me time. Like what we said on board flight, yeah? Wear your own mask first before even your loved ones. So in our case, could be whatever give you joy, whatever give us. Like for me, gardening give me joy, reading Bhagavad Gita give me joy, having conversation with friends like you give me joy, spending time walking give me joy, watching the stars give me joy, listening to Hariharan A.R. Rahman songs give me joy, reading books give me joy, teaching give me joy, and I hope each and every one of us in quote unquote be selfish to take care of ourselves because especially mom, they are inbuilt with so much of caring, giving, that they sometimes don't care enough for themselves. My mom, I was just, she's actually not well at 84, 85 years old. She's with my brother's place now. She insisted my brother make a video call to me because she didn't hear me for a few days. She was worried that I'm not well. And she's in hospital now, recovering very well. From the hospital bed, instead of asking if she is well, she said, "No, no, I sense. Are you well? Have you ate dinner properly? Did you sleep well last night?" That is mother.
Yeah,
No.
that is.
So you gave us such a beautiful reminder. Find time for some sense of routine, and in that process invest on yourself. I had the privilege of reading the book, and I hope more people will have the joy that I had in reading your book. But people who have not read yet, can you kind of give some key takeaway from that book for us to balance the messy life of a modern woman so that our career priority, our multiple other priorities can be balanced? What are the tips or some of the key lessons from the video, or rather from the book, before our audience start reading the book, I hope very soon?
I think, Dr. Prabha, for me, the biggest lesson that or message that the book gives is to carve your own unique journey. As a mother, as a child, your child is different. You are a different person. Not only a mother, a woman, or a man. We are in such a competitive world that, okay, my brother has done this, I need to do this. My friends have achieved this, I need to. It's like a tick mark that everyone is trying to achieve today. It's okay to go slow. It's okay to carve your own unique path and do what makes you happy as a person. Sometimes people associate the word sacrifice with motherhood. I call it a choice. It's a choice that we make every day. Sometimes I choose to be a good mother. Sometimes I choose to be a good CEO of my company. Today, my company could have been almost three times of what it is today. But I chose to keep it smaller than what it is today because I wanted to invest that time on or with my family. In a way, it might seem like a sacrifice, but to me, it's sheer joy. It's a choice that I have made, and I want to be happy about that choice. So, this sense of competition that we have with each one, that, oh, she has achieved so much. What is achievement? There's no definition of achievement, there's no definition of success. For me, success could be just being happy. For you, success could be maybe for someone it could be making good amount of certain amount of money. That could be the milestone of success. So if success can't be measured, how can you put a draw a line there that you achieve this, you are successful? You can't do that. So carve your own path to success, and that is what will bring happiness and work life balance to your life. Don't associate any negative terminology to your life, like, I've sacrificed this for my family, I have done this for. When once you do that, you become a cribbing mother. I remember, Dr. Prabha, that when I was pregnant, unknowingly, an acquaintance of mine, she had been working with Singapore Airlines, and she gave up on her career after she had kids. So she said that she had two daughters, and then she stopped working with Singapore Airlines. And now her kids were at that time going to be in their teenage. So, of course, the kids don't give you enough time and they have their own life. So, she was kind of cribbing that, oh, I gave up my career for them and they're not there for me and all of that. So, that day I knew, Dr. Prabha, that I don't want to be a grumpy mother. I don't want to associate the word sacrifice with my motherhood journey. I would try to do as many things being a mother. I am proud to say, Dr. Prabha, that today I have traveled to more countries with my son than I did before being a mother. I have seen more success in my career after having my son. So they say that, having a child can be a full stop, a pause, or whatever. But I say none of it is valid if you have the right mindset. You know that what you have to achieve. Make that choice every day. It's just about making that choice and living by it and not cribbing about it. That is what my book talks about. So I wanted to share my journey through this book, that anything can be done as a mother. You don't have to say that I was a mother, so I couldn't do this. Because I was a mother, I had to give up on this. You don't have to give up on anything if you are motivated enough from within. People have run Olympics after having kids. So what is, like, a small thing in a career? You can always do that if you're willing to. It's that willpower that we lose and then we blame it to our motherhood journey. So yes, that's what my book talks about in most essence, that don't take motherhood journey as the end or pause or stop of something. Everything can go on simultaneously, and that's why I say messy life, because our lives are not very organized. It's messy, and I believe that messy is beautiful. For me, messy is absolutely beautiful. It describes me as a person. It describes all the millennial moms who want to achieve so many things today. We are happy to be messy. We are beautifully messy. And as someone commented on your post, that we still smell like fresh roses.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Wow. I love the idea. Uh, Beautiful, messy, creating some order within the messiness. And mothers like Shika, the motherhood actually complemented, energized, inspired for her to achieve more meaning, more sense of purpose, and bringing so much of joy to her team, to her clients, to her community. And we are so lucky to have your wisdom sharing with all of us today. And we are about to reach New Year soon. What is
Yes.
your New Year resolution, if there's such thing? And what could be your parting advice to our viewers so that the ideas from your book, like sense of routine, enjoy the motherhood, don't be a grumpy mom, how can these and despite all this messiness, you still have time for yourself, for your friends, and your team, clients, and sense of contribution to the community. I would be as what you did for our NGO Inspire, helping us with the entire website as your CSR, and I'm sure you have done that to many other people. So, sense of balancing all this, yet achieve success. While listening to you, word of success, I remember the definition for success by Deepak Chopra. He said, progressive realization of worthy goals.
Wow.
Progressive realization of worthy goals. So, being the mother, being the wife, being the daughter, it's a worthy goals. So, realizing that itself is a success. And because of that, you choose to keep your business the way you want to be so that these worthy goals are not sacrificed. Wonderful, Shika. Tell us, what is your plan for 2024 and what is your suggestions or some tips for millennial mom who are messy, yet they are still struggling? What is your suggestion?
Just be happy, make a choice every day, love yourself. That's the most important thing. If you love yourself, if you are a happy person, only then you can be a happy mother. So you're doing a lot of things for your child, but you're not happy from within, you're going to be a grumpy mother. So just be happy. If need be, one day if your child has not eaten, let it be, let it go. It's okay. One day they have not eaten. You may have read this in my book, that it's okay, one day not done is okay. Don't let it impact your mental peace. It's okay to be sometimes let go of things, to not be a good mother one day, to don't have to be a guilty mother all the time. Like, how your mother is in the hospital but still worrying about you. That's the heart of a mother. And that's what, like, makes a mother feel guilty, that, oh, I was not there for my son when he's sick. So we have to somewhat get away with these feelings, that it's okay sometimes to leave your child, go out and party with your girlfriends, have a dinner date. Let your child be. Sometimes just take out time for yourself and learn to be happy. Don't fall in this trap of looking at people's posts and being happy or being competitive with them. Healthy competition is good, but don't have that competition of, oh, I want to achieve this because a certain person has achieved this. Carve your own unique path this year so that you can follow that path and be happy. That's my suggestion for 2024. And yes, Dr. Prabha, following your instructions, in 2024, I'm going to come up with my course for a happy, balanced life. A lot of corporates have been asking for this course. So I'm due to have that structured with your guidance, and taking that TTT course. So before we end, I would just like to ask you one question, Dr. Prabha. Maybe we you know run a little late on this, but I wanted to know from you. You have been such an overachiever, major doctor, worked with the Navy, so many achievements, but still you told me that you chose to stay in your city, and you chose to be in your garden. You take trainings from the comfort of your garden, and that's so beautiful. What inspired you to do that?
Nice. Well, I recall someone told me, if you are in a rat race, even if you win the rat race, you are still a rat. I
That's
don't want that.
that's
So I've been in this place since 1993. We are not even a city. We are just a small 10 cars in a row. We call that traffic jam. It's a small town. But you wake up in the morning, you can still enjoy the bird. You go to a pasar malam. I hope you know what pasar malam is, night
Yes.
market. You almost, everybody. My wife used to say, if your car stops somewhere, within 5 minutes, you will find someone who stop and help.
Yeah.
So that inspired me. And for me, the idea of being in a rush does not mean productivity. Of course, it's individual choice. So that's something that I practice, and I'm going to retire here, God willing. And I've not even a moment of regret for doing that. In fact, I remember someone gave me some kind of corporate advice to move to KL to bring the and at the end of it, come back to a small village like this and enjoy your retirement and success. I said, I'm already doing it. Why do I need to go there? Thanks a lot for that question, Shika. And my friends, like what Shika said, the essence of being successful is love yourself. Whether you are a mom or a dad or whatever position you are so precious. Love yourself. Schedule time. If you're working and if you have annual leave 20 over days, most of the time the annual leave is for children, somebody sick, somebody have a wedding, somebody funeral. But why not take a break for yourself? Shika, as always, it has such a pleasure listening to you. It has been almost 47 minutes. I'm not even aware that time passed. And my friends who are listening, thank you very much. I'm sure wisdom from Shika will help you to be a more successful mom and whatever other position you are. Balance life of a modern woman is doable. And like Shika said, a sense of routine, love yourself, and more ideas, I'm sure you will get from her book. So, with that, once again, thank you very much, Shika, and Happy New Year, Merry Christmas to all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Prabha.